Hey, welcome to the 12 Days of Copilot, Day 8, and I am your host, Michael Giannotti, and today we're going to take a look at how Microsoft 365 Copilot can work within Microsoft Loop, one of my favorite applications. I use it all the time to manage teams and projects, and we're going to take a look. And to do that, let's go ahead. We're going to flip over to that view. I'm going to move on in here. And you can see here we're looking at Loop, and you can see some of the teams like our Viva for healthcare and life sciences virtual team, 365 Copilot virtual team, different use cases that I'm using Loop to manage things. But I also have a demo Loop, and we're going to click on it. And this should appear very familiar to those of you who use OneNote. Instead of creating a notebook and then pages, what we do is create a workspace and then pages. And my first one is untitled, so we'll just call this demo. And from there, we are going to then begin to add content, just like you do in OneNote. But the way we add it here is with these little modules. So it says I can just start typing, but when I click down there to start, I could begin to type and take notes and drop stuff in here, or I can do an @ symbol to find and add somebody, or I can do a / to insert a module. They have little module templates, or I can just click that. And here you can see I can do things like add a table, a checklist, bulleted list. There's all kinds of good stuff here. Task list, progress trackers, QA sessions, persons, images, either other apps where it's extended. And the beauty is when you add one of those modules, you can copy it, paste it into something like a chat in Teams, and then if you update it in one place, it gets dynamically updated everywhere it's instantiated. So no more, just point in time, copy and paste. They're dynamic and connected. But I'm going to go ahead and select here draft page content. And you'll note that we have a couple of options. I can do creation, and it has here draft an article about the benefits of working in the technology industry. We also could do a brainstorm, a blueprint, a description. I'm just going to select this. I am going to show you something, though, interesting in reference to this in just a moment. But we're going to go ahead, similar to what we did previously with Word and others. I'll say draft an article about the benefits of using Microsoft 365 Copilot and Microsoft Viva in an organization. Finish spelling that. And so I've given it a very clear command. We're going to go ahead and select that. It's going out now into our corporate environment, looking at information. It says pulling it together. It's not going to do like a Word doc, right? Because this is notes. These are in our Loop area, but it is going to provide a good overall piece of information around that. And once that comes, there we go. You can see here is that information that's been provided to us. I can iterate on that right here, which we're going to do in just a moment. This will always be available to iterate on that particular loop, the information it did with Copilot. I love that. But I can also click down below. And so once I've done that, I can go ahead, let's do that / I could add additional content. And I can come in here again, I can use create. But notice this is what I wanted to show you. It gives me an option to continue to click on, for example, create. Ask Copilot to draft content or choose a button, for example. Let's click it again. It keeps changing suggested ideas and prompts that you can either take as is or modify with yours. So if you see something that appears structurally like what you're looking for, you can use that and just change the particulars in the statement. We can do that for that. I can come into brainstorming, do the same. We can do that for blueprinting, right? And descriptions. Whole range of things that we can do there. I'm just going to delete that. We're going to come back to that in a moment. I want to come back to this particular one. Remember, we had this piece here. So I clicked on it. and it allows me to iterate on this content. So let's say I like that content. I went through, I edited, changed things up, but now I need to deliver this as a talk track to people within my organization. It's simple. I ask it to go ahead. I could ask it to summarize in a bulleted list, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to say, make it a speech, because I want to deliver this in something that I'm going to talk to, and it's going to be me, not PowerPoint and other stuff. And I want to give a talk on this particular content. So it's going through, looking at the content, analyzing it, and then it's going to format it in the form of a speech, which I could then further iterate on and work with. And you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, I am here today to talk to you about the benefits of using Microsoft 365 Copilot and Viva in an organization. And then it goes on from there. And then at the end, it wraps it up with thank you for your attention. Quick, simple, powerful, going from point A to B to C and continuing to set the form around that. But as I mentioned, we can also do other things with this content. So for example, we could query this topic, the content that we have on any given page. So this is content that was made by Copilot. Let's say we took a bunch of notes from a meeting and had them in here, right? We had a meeting with a customer, or maybe, we were typing up whatever the case is, the content that's here, and we need to do some analysis or information around it. I'm going to select that. I'm going to say draft page content. And now I'm going to come in and say, what is the main topic of this page? And I can give it a question mark. We'll go ahead, select that. It's now going to look at everything that exists on the page, and it's going to then come up and give me the main topic. And there you go. It's gone ahead and done that as well. So now I've summarized it. Maybe I was generating, the content there was being generated as a draft worked on by multiple people that we were going to use for a post in our intranet. Well, gee, I might want to apply some metadata and find keywords that I can use for that. So let's go ahead and let's ask it to go ahead, and I'm going to pick, I've already got this ready to go. We're going to come down here and we're going to say we want to draft page content. This time, let's say we want to generate a list of keywords from this page. See how we're continuing to work with the data. We're generating it, we're transforming it, we're querying it, getting back additional components. And there we go. Now we've got a whole list of keywords that it's providing that are based upon the content that's already provided there. And we can use that for metadata or hashtags, etc., to leverage with our posts that we're going to do, whether it's in our corporate intranet, maybe it's in Viva Engage. But whatever the case is, we're now, again, generating content, we're transforming it, we're then interrogating it, we're extracting information from it, and on and on. There's a lot of examples of things that you can do. I'll give you some links to resources that you can look at, but you can see how useful this can be, leveraging the power of Copilot within Loop for your teams, your projects, things that you may be working on. And I want to encourage you, take a look at it. This system absolutely rocks. And with that, this is Mike Giannotti bidding you have a great day. Remember, Copilot all the way. Ho, ho, ho. Take care. Have a great one. And ciao.